everybody, what is going on? My name is Lucas and welcome to another episode of the Cajun Guitar Gear Podcast. This is a special Christmas Eve edition. Happy New Year, Christmas Eve, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate during this glorious holiday season. I wish it to you. This is going to be a very unhinged, a very off-the-cuff podcast because I really didn't plan on doing a podcast this week. But we had some stuff from Neural DSP and some stuff from Kemper that launched. So I am just going to go over it really quick. I have no idea how long this is going to be. I'm just kind of going to, like I said, I'm going to be unhinged. So start off, we're going to be looking at the Neural DSP Morgan amp suite. So for those who don't know, Morgan is this hand-built company. Well, they were at one time, but now they are part of the boutique amp distribution, also known as BAD, which has Friedman, Soldano, Bogner, and a few other guys in there. I can't remember, but that's who is a part of this big amp mafia. Morgans are really cool. The very first time I heard about them was when Tosin Abasi was using them. He was using that into like a pedal platform when he stopped using Axe Effects, or he was going away from them when he wanted real amps. So that's when I heard about them. Joe Morgan built them, blah, 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 blah. Like I said, this is unhinged, guys. For the effects, we have what? A compressor, 2 overdrives, and a tremolo circuit. Typical pedals. The amps and potatoes here. For the Morgan, you have the AC20, which is based off of a Vox AC30. You have a PR12, which is based off of the Fender Princeton Reverb. And then the big amp, you have an SW50R, which is based off of a Dumble Clean channel with an addition of the tube-driven reverb tank. So that's the amp set you're going to get in here. And I mean, it's like everything with Neural. You have EQ, you have pedals, you have IR loaders, you have tuners, metronome. Oh, metronome, that's actually nice. More people should use that. Maybe they might actually be good at your guitar. Neural DSP is primarily known for their prog metal stuff. They have like John Petrucci one archetype. They have all kind of different archetypes going on with their plugin suite. So this one's nice. It's actually got some classic tones in there for, you know, people who aren't exactly into metal and who just kind of want to play some dad rock. It's $100. It's 100. Well, it's 100 pounds, so it's like 105, 110 USD. Let's go over to Mr. Pete Thorne, who did a little demo on this. And Pete's one of the only guys I trust for good tones on the internet. One of the only good guys. There's a few of them there, and I trust him, especially for this kind of stuff. So let's see what it sounds like. The beautiful playing from Mr. Pete Thorne, everybody. Go make sure you subscribe to him. Pete is amazing. So as you can see, this suite is not meant for high gain. It is meant for edge of breakup. It is meant for some lightly distorted stuff. As you saw in there, basically if you stack both overdrives and you drive your gain, that is how you're going to get a lot of the gain out of this suite. Like I said, this is meant for dad rock. This is not meant for people who are trying to play in drop Z and play in 8-string guitars and trying to be the best Sleep Token impersonation. That's not what this is for. This is for some dad rockers. And if you're interested in it, head on over to Neural DSP. They didn't send it to me to review, so once again, I have to show you videos of other people doing it. So let's move on to the big meat and potatoes of this podcast, the Kemper Profiler player. Those who don't know, Kemper has pretty much been the standard. When I say standard, I mean like they were the first guys there. They are the ones leading the charge when it comes to amp profiling. So it's essentially amp theft. You profile your amp, you can get it in there They have it in rack form. They had it rack power. They had it in the toaster form. The toaster form was very popular. I think a year or so ago, or about 2 years ago, I want to say, they launched the Profiler stage, which is like their foot pedal version of it. It's kind of like the FM9 and or FM3 or the Helix. Profile your amps. You can download other profiles from people. You can buy them. You can put them on there. You have some effects in there. The effects aren't necessarily as good as Line 6 and or Fractal, but you have some effects in there. And Kemper was pretty much holding the candle for the past 10 years. Their profiling algorithm is about 10 years old, and they released liquid profiling not too long ago. I'm going to go more into that, but let's talk about the pedal. So basically, it's kind of like a Tone X pedal. So you have everything Kemper-wise in a pedal. You can put it on a pedal board. You can control it with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. You can control stuff, swap stuff out with your phone, tablet, computer. It's made in Germany. I kind of want to go over the I/O on the front. Show me a picture of the I/O on the front, damn it. Where? Oh, okay, here we go. Okay. So you have your instrument inputs, you have your left and right TRS jacks, you have a headphone jack, you have an expression pedal jack, you have an XLR out, but it is only mono, which is a big difference and big change. You do have USB-A, you do have USB-B, and it does use a 24 power input, which is a little bit different because a lot of pedals don't necessarily use 24. That's kind of going to be a thing you kind of have to dance around there. You do have effects on here. If you're looking at the front of it, you have 2 effects blocks there. So it has 3 foot switches. And from the little demo thing, the demo we're going to watch of it, 3 is back and 2 is to turn stuff on and off, like a drive or an effect or something like that. 1 is forward, 3 is back, and 2 is having the effects and turning stuff on and off is basically what it's built. Let's look at some more pictures of it. It's very small. It's kind of angled. It looks a lot like the Tone X pedal, if you want to call it that. It has Kemper's green profile on it. You have a master knob, rig volume. You have tap for your tuner. You have different banks. You have a noise gate on there. 3 independently controlled output groups via XLR stereo. XLR connects you to directly front of house, a studio vessel without the need for DI boxes. So that's what you can use the XLR for. MIDI program changes through the standard USB MIDI adapter. MIDI support through external USB foot controller. So I do like what they did here. They put MIDI in the USB port, which kind of gives you a little bit more functionality, which is good because it's a small pedal, so you're limited for space. I do like that. It has a support for the new and innovative liquid profiles, innovative in quotations there. So if you were familiar with the Kemper, if you're familiar with the profiles, this is exactly what it is. How many profiles can you store on here? I might put a cut here because I want to go find how many you can store on here. Let's see. Yes, I cannot find it. It does not have how many actual amp profiles you can put on here. I'm sure you can put a lot of them. The price for this is $700, and this is where Kemper loses me. This concept was kind of cool, but $700 for this pedal, that's way too much. Because if you look at the bottom, you have Power Rack at 2, you have the toaster at 15 and 1550, and the profiler is at 16. So I guess that's okay price, but this is a problem with Kemper, right? They've had the same algorithm for 10 years. They never really updated it. They came out with liquid profiles. That kind of upgraded things a little bit, but that was very underwhelming. Kemper to me is the BlackBerry of the amp modeling world when it comes to profiling specifically, because Kemper is different because you can profile your stuff and you can take it with you. They're the BlackBerry. Let me explain this. In the late 1990s, in the early 1990s and early 2000s, BlackBerry had an absolute grip on the cell phone market, right? Like, they were pretty much the only people doing, like, corporate email on the cell phone, and this was, like, a big deal, and they had, like, a keyboard. But then Apple was the first company to actually successfully market a touchscreen phone. They weren't the first to do it, but they were the first to market it successfully. That's important. And BlackBerry refused to change, and they were way too late to the game, and now they're an afterthought, and they've collapsed. And it's all Android and iPhone now for the cell phone market, pretty much, when it comes to an operating system. So my analogy with that is Kemper had the grip on profiling. They were out there, they were running, everyone used them. I mean, a lot of professionals do use it now, But a lot of professionals are kind of moving to different things as a la Helix, Axe Effects, and or the Quad Cortex, because you have effects you can use in there, and the effects are a lot better than they were in the Kemper, and you can kind of do a lot more things than you can with the Kemper. So that's kind of the hang up for me. I do like the idea of this pedal. They're staying innovative. They're competing with a smaller amp sim platform, because that's kind of what the theme, kind of where things are going. That's kind of been the theme of this year. You have the Boss IR2, which is a tiny little pedal with some amp sims and IRs in it. You have the Friedman IRX, which to me, that was kind of like the pedal of the year to me. That thing sounds fantastic. And I would go buy a Friedman IRX before I would buy this. Why? Because the Friedman IRX is $500, so it's cheaper. Yes, you can't profile stuff. Yes, you don't get effects, but you can load your own IRs on it. It sounds fantastic, and there's a lot more flexibility to me, and I think it sounds a lot better. The thing with Kempers is, so if you're new to Kemper and you buy this, you have to go hunt and buy some profiles. So you can't, with this pedal, you can't profile your own stuff that you already have. So you would have to go out and buy some, or get someone with a Kemper to come over and profile your stuff for you, which that sucks. I mean, it does have a lot of stuff that comes with it, which is really nice and really cool, but if you want to profile your own stuff, you're kind of stuck. For someone who's interested in profiling their own stuff, why wouldn't they go buy a Tone X pedal? If you want the physical gear for it, you can, software-wise, capture your rig, you can upload it to the Tone X pedal, and you are good to go. Because Tone X does sound pretty freaking good. Now, their UI is a little bit left to be desired, but a lot of their sounds on there are pretty good. So you see where I'm coming from with this? He's paying $700, and you can't profile your own stuff. You have to go out and buy other profiles. Now, this does come with a lot of profiles, but you kind of can't profile your own stuff. And like I said, the stuff on it is a little old, profile-wise. I mean, you do have the new liquid profiles. I just feel Kemper is always a little too late. I feel like this pedal would have been awesome, like, a couple years ago. I just feel like it's already behind the curve. Like, because that's kind of the reaction I've gotten from a lot of people. Like, a lot of Kemper diehards are going to love this. If you're already invested in the system and you already have good profiles, and you really don't feel like taking a rack out everywhere, you want to roll up to your small gig, your local bar, you want to roll up to your gig at like a church or something like that, this would be absolutely perfect for it. Something where sound quality is not like the thing that's paramount, I guess you could say, like a smaller church or like a wedding gig or something like that, when you don't feel like lugging a whole lot of stuff. This would be perfect for it. But once again, you can't profile your own rig. You have to go out and buy some newer stuff. Because, I mean, like, okay, let's go to the video. I know I've been kind of harping talking. This is from Play and Trade Guitars. He kind of unboxes it and shows it in some stuff, but I kind of want to skip. So I want to skip to back here. I think this is him playing through it.
I want to take a lead. I have a boost here.
So his stuff is kind of like dad rock stuff. So you see he has the Kemper right here in his rack. So he already has profiles. This is what I wanted to show you. So you have Rig Manager 3.5. That is what interfaces with the player itself. Let's play a little bit here.
So this one's labeled 2011 More Gain AC20.
So you see, this is what I believe this is what it comes with. This is the stuff that, yes, my profile. This is all the stuff that already comes on it. So you get more, you get some Marshall stuff. You got a PV5150 Heavy, and this is from Mr. Pharaoh 72. But so that's the thing with Kempers too, is you have to find people who know how to profile stuff, and where the profile actually sounds really good. Because from what I've heard, I've never owned a Kemper, but a lot of people say that a lot of the profiles are bad, and they just don't sound really good. So you have to kind of either know who makes the good stuff, or know someone who knows where the good stuff is, or if you can get some good stuff out of the default stuff that's here, that would be really cool. And it looks like you can kind of set up and do everything from here, which is really nice. So it's sort of like Axe Edit or the Helix editor, or the Quad Cortex finally got one. So it looks like you can kind of set up everything from here, and you can rate it. That's really nice. I mean, sound-wise, the sound demos don't really matter because you're going to get the same sound from your Kemper, like toaster or rack, that you're going to, it's going to sound the same. I'm sorry, I'm talking in circles because I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. So it's going to sound the same, which is cool, but it's in a smaller pedal. But I'll go back to that same crux. You have to search out profiles. You can't profile your own rig, and you're paying $700 for it.
So you get the idea. It's a lot of the.
Alright guys, I think that is going to wrap up my spiel on the Kemper player. Tell me, what do you think about it in the comments down below? Like I said, I think it is cool. I don't think it's $700 cool. And then you can't profile, I'll be harping on this, I'm sorry. You can't profile your own rig. You have to go out there and search and find the profiles that are good, the profiles that you like. I think I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you for coming and watching this. I know it's the holiday season. I know a lot of people are busy. I appreciate you spending some time with me. I think this is going to be my last one of the year. Unless some unhinged, crazy stuff happens, I may jump on and do another short one like this. Though this one probably turned out a little bit longer than I thought it would, but it is what it is, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Thank you so much for making this podcast a success in 2023, and we will keep pushing for more in 2024. And guys, have a good New Year holiday season, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.